Okay, this is not, there's no probably about it. This is the most complicated of my new loved themed extruder disc for this year. It is a love gnome. So there's a lot of parts. There are two 57mm discs, which is the hat and the top part of his beard. Then there are 6 other 23 or 24mm discs that make up the heart that he's holding. There's one for each foot. So these are the feet. There's the bottom of his beard. This is his hand. So again, you'll need to extrude 2 pieces because the hand is reversible. And his nose. So there's a lot of elements to this set. And to make things even more difficult, his beard is a little bit longer than his feet, which means I'm probably going to flatten his beard out a little bit when I'm putting this together. We'll see. How I think this is going to be the best way to put together, that's another good question. So I'm gonna start. I was gonna do pink, then I ran out of enough pinks, then I did purple, and then I just decided I didn't like either of those. So I have these 2 lengths that I don't know what I'm gonna do with, because they're not even a normal heart. They have hand holds in them. But anyways, then I decided it was just all gonna be red, black, white, and the tan for his hands and nose. So the reason why there's black is because I had used the extruder to extrude black, and then I changed my mind about those hearts, and I wasn't going to clean the extruder before to re-extrude these pieces because it would take too long to dry. And anyways, long story short, there is some black along the edges. It's just along the edges. It's not going to make a huge big deal in the finished soap. So I'm not that worried. That's his nose. These are his hands. The hands are tiny. I am going to, if you look, there's a groove here and a groove on the side. Note how one is higher and one is lower. You're going to need to know that. Pay attention to that for when you're attaching the beard, so that it goes in correctly. If the hands are the wrong way, the beard will not fit in correctly. But first, we're going to attach the hands to the heart. So I just have some distilled water, which I will just paint into the groove. And like, I couldn't extrude the entire length I needed of the heart. So make sure you have your pieces going the same way when you're attaching the hand if you have multiple pieces. If you're doing a longer length of the gnome and not a shorter length, and you can't extrude it all in one go. I said this one is definitely a little bit trickier. I think it is definitely more of, let's see, I'm gonna move this forward a little bit. This is a little bit more of an advanced disc design to put together. I spent the morning yesterday I prepped all of the soap dough, and I spent over 2 hours this morning extruding all these pieces for not just this, but 3 other designs that I needed. And I am now totally just like done with extruding. I have more stuff to extrude, but they're not love themed designs. They are something else. I'm catching up on some new disc designs and doing some custom designs, but I like to test my custom designs before I will sell them and do okay, say okay and give them to the person. So I have to test those. That's what's coming up. And again, I didn't eat it today, and this is about all that I can handle in one day. I'm just very tired of extruding. So this is the other hand. Again, I just painted the slot, and now I am sticking in. It fits right in. It should not be, this part should not be an issue for assembling. Because it does just fit in nicely. You don't really have to worry about anything other than making sure you have your heart pieces going the right way if you have multiple pieces. Okay. What I think I'm going to do next is put the nose in this section and then attempt to put it on here. Like normally I would put the bottom beard, but I don't want to, I'm going to try and avoid squishing it. And since it, like I said, it goes past the feet, I'm just not quite sure yet. The hat I always put on last. It is just easiest to put it on last. So this is the top section, and it's got a really thin section. There's not a lot of soap between the nose and where the heart is going to go. So if you can see that, it's thin, so you need to just be a little bit careful. And I also, like, it's kind of collapsed in on itself, which is fine. I'm just kind of opening it a little bit so that I can get the nose to slip in. Again, whenever you see me painting anything to put together pieces, it's distilled water. That will never change. It's always just going to be distilled water to help the pieces adhere together and not come apart. You know what? I said I was going to put the nose in, but I actually think it's going to be easier to put this on the heart first and then put the nose in. See how this edge curves up and this edge curves down? That's how you know which side goes on what. So the edge that curves up, the heart needs to be with the hand that's lower, and the side that's curving down should be the hand that is on the top side. So that being said, let's look at this heart. And you see, so this is the top and that's the bottom. So if the bottom's on this side, I need the side that's curving up to match the bottom, which is, that's this end. So this should go on this way. I actually now think it will be easier to put my nose in, because I have something, this middle part was so thin that just trying to push the nose in, you could see I was tearing it. So yeah, put the top beard on the heart and then put your nose in. I think it is going to work much, much better that way. We have the heart, hands, and top, beard, and nose. So now we're going to flip this guy over and put in the bottom part of the beard. So again, this beard it goes a specific way. So you see how the beard needs to go to one side. The lower hand is the side that the puff is going to go to. So, I don't know if you can see this end piece. Let me trim this. Whew. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so that's the lower hand. That's the upper hand. So, that's the poof. We need to rotate this. There we go, because it needs to go to the outside. So I'm just gonna trim this off a bit. It's just a messy end. And now, if we line this up, look, yay, it fits in there. Okay, so now that I know I have this the correct direction, I'm going to paint with water, and then we're going to attach it. And try not to deform the beard too much. We have the body. Now, time for the feet. So when I extruded this, I kept, this was the right and this was the left. So, again, I told you this was complicated. They're not mirrored images, the feet. There are two discs, one for each foot. This right foot is going to go along the side that's moving with the beard going out. And it should, let me trim this. Just basically, see that? It just slides right on. And so the other foot, so you need to find the flat part is going to be so it kind of, that curved part fits into the beard, then there's a flat that goes around and that's the outside. So I don't know if you can see, like that's how that's gonna fit in. This one should stay a little bit easier because it is kind of fitting into that curve. Oh, you didn't see that. I didn't just pull that apart. It's all good. Okay, it's all good. Trust me, once you get this in the soap, you won't be able to tell about the little gaps that don't all meet up or the foot that I broke apart at one spot and then put back together. So it's okay. Almost there. And I'm going to set that down. I hope that the feet don't slide. And trim off the end pieces. Let's get all that crap out of the way. Oh. Okay, here's his hat. I'll trim what we need. Again, the hat's easy because there's a groove. The nose fits right in that groove. The only problem is you just don't want to push too hard so you don't dislodge the feet, which is why I say you might want to let the feet dry and then come back and put the hat on. Oh, and the hat, the outside goes towards the lower hand. So that's how the hat goes on. The outside part and the lower hand. And it just gently, again, there's a nose groove, so find the nose groove, put it in the nose groove, and then gently push down on the sides to kind of push the hat down into place around the beard. Okay, I think we have it. And there you go. Sorry, I haven't trimmed the end off. I need it to firm up a bit before I trim the end off. But you can see it's a gnome holding a heart, and I'm so glad I did red and not another color. This totally needed to be red. My nose shifted a little bit. It's not quite straight, but whatever. It's my Valentine's Day gnome. So yeah, this one's complicated. It is definitely an advanced disc set. If you have the time, patience, and to do it, I do include this image so you will have a guide to help you as well, and hopefully this tutorial will help you. But yeah, there we have it. So I'm gonna go put together this other length because I'm gonna need it for the mold, and I will cut some pieces later and show you what they look like.